Well, I'm very pleased to be joined now by political journalist and great friend of the U.S. Report, John Fonda. John, welcome back to the program. I wanted to kick off with news that we have a federal election on here in Australia, but the news also is for you that Trump has made himself a little bit unpopular down here with some of his moves around tariffs, and in the process strengthened the hand of our Labor Party. And I want to get your reaction to this because it seems like Trump's moves with some of our allies, or America's allies, winds up backing in Labor politicians in Canada, potentially here. What is your read on Trump's knowledge of how well his stuff is playing in some countries that he might want more friendly governments in as they head towards elections?
There is an intellectually defensible argument for using tariffs as a negotiating tactic. Reciprocal tariffs, saying, we're going to charge you exactly what you charge us on a given product. That makes sense, both in fairness and I think in economically. However, Trump has gone beyond that. For example, today he slapped a 25% tariff on automobiles, including those from Canada and Mexico. That's a clear violation of the very trade agreement that he negotiated and signed during his first term to replace NAFTA. And so I think there are some allies, including Australia, who doesn't particularly have high tariffs against U.S. goods, that are legitimately and genuinely upset. This will hurt conservative candidates in Canada and in Australia, who are going to be unfairly tarred with anti-Americanism, the anti-Americanism that is part of this. And I think that I think that I wouldn't want to be in the situation of either Mr. Dutton or Mr. Poilievre in Canada. It's a shame because, as you know, the election should be fought on broader issues, especially the state of the economy in both countries. I think that Trump is dragging down his friends unnecessarily. Yeah,
no, I worry that you might be right there. But I want to talk, too, about something else that's just happened in the U.S., and I think this is a great move. President Trump had previously promised strong action on the border and illegal immigration, but now he has also announced that they will no longer allow illegal migrants, I didn't even realize this was possible, to receive Federal Housing Administration mortgages. And they also confirmed that any non-permanent resident will not be eligible for the assistance. My God, how was this common sense not done ages ago? How did this ever become a problem?
Well, people on the left like to say that America is a nation of immigrants, and we are. However, the great flow of immigration in this country, all the way up through the 1930s, 40s, and 50s, involved a bargain. You come to this country, and we either reunite you with your family or you come for opportunity, but you're not going to be part of the welfare state. People, for example, used to be have to list a sponsor who would take care of them to make sure they wouldn't be a burden on the country. So that's the bargain. In the last 50 or 60 years, the bargain has changed. Now you come here and you get the whole panoply of benefits. California is notorious on this. You arrive, you're an illegal alien, and you get everything. In fact, you get everything faster in some cases than U.S. citizens. So that's the rub. And a lot of these benefits that you mentioned, including the housing mortgage one, were never contemplated by the people who wanted America to be a welcoming beacon and refuge for people around the world. So immigration, properly managed and legal, yes. Welfare state immigration, absolutely impossible to sustain.
Absolutely right, and I reckon that's one of the big reasons why Trump won. Before I let you go, I want to also talk about another international affairs piece of business here. J.D. Vance, he is off to Greenland this week. Now, the left are saying that he was not invited. He's going along with his wife. But J.D. Vance has reiterated that global security is at stake ahead of his trip, while President Trump has warned in the past that, of course, the U.S. should own Greenland. What do you think this move is about, sending the vice president over there? It feels like there's something else happening besides just Greenland.
Well, Greenland is clearly strategically important to the United States. And in fact, we've had an air base there. My father actually worked at it when he was in the Air Force. I know a little bit about Greenland.
Hmm.
And we certainly should have a stronger association and ties with Greenland, which is likely to start moving towards independence. But the way that Trump has conducted himself, which is not consulting with the Danes who currently own Greenland, not consulting with the Greenlanders, and basically saying we're going to take it over whether you like it or not, that is not, that's the old form of gunboat diplomacy. Trump hasn't said he has a gunboat he's going to send up there, but it's not exactly done in the form of a friendly, shake your hand real estate transaction.
Yeah, no, it doesn't sound like that at all. Hey, John Fund, thank you so much for your time, as always, here on the U.S. Report.